Hey friends, Carl and I just had an amazing Easter weekend at our church, and I hope you did as well at yours. Um, we are now spending a few days at Lake Chico State Park in southern Arkansas, just enjoying fish and birds and the lake and the cypress trees and all of God's beauty. His presence is just greatly felt here, and so here we are. Wanted to take this time to uh, do a video post that I felt led to do. It's a first for me to do this kind of a post. I'm not comfortable in front of a camera of any kind, but a challenge was issued last week on Facebook that has just stayed on my mind. And so it sounds like God. Just saw a duck take off. Um, I'm supposed to do this. The challenge was to share my story, why I am a follower of Jesus. So this is my God story. I'll start from the beginning. I grew up in the Bible Belt, which is southeastern and central section of the U.S. that's known to largely be conservative values and have a plethora of Christian churches to choose from. My family faithfully served and worshiped in a Southern Baptist church in Dallas, Texas. I learned lots of Bible stories there, sang lots of songs of the faith, memorized key Bible verses there. It was a community of very grounded believers. They weren't too radical, they weren't too controlling. But as faithfully as they knew how, they taught and clung to key teachings of Jesus, like grace and truth and love and forgiveness and mercy. And so almost all of my life, I have done life in a community of believers. And some of those people have been lifelong connections. But my journey began with Jesus when I was 8 years old. My teenage half sister Susan shared the gospel with me. She was practicing a presentation that she was learning to give, practicing, and she did a good job. God's plan of salvation and other labels that might be put on this message might be the good news, how to become a part of God's forever family, how to have a relationship with God, and things like that. But anyway, what Susan shared with me that day brought life to the Bible knowledge that I already had, and it also provided some context for a family conflict that had always troubled me, still does to some extent today. Sadness, brokenness, trouble, traumas. We were a stable, middle income, and blended household, and so there's always going to be some struggles in blended families that are not typical, maybe to a nuclear family. But again, all families have their issues. And so, even as a very young child, watching a lot of our family dynamics play out, I witnessed and experienced anger and bitterness, fear, worry, anxieties, wounds that were just really never seemed to heal or resolve. I wanted to be a psychiatrist when I grew up so that maybe I could help my family and other people be happy. But as Susan shared what she had to say, I learned that all of us have a sin problem. We choose to do things our own way, and usually it's in opposition to God's way. We hurt each other, we hurt ourselves because of this issue of sin. I have it, my parents have it, my siblings, my friends have a sin problem, and we all need God at the center of our individual lives to enjoy having a relationship with our Creator, the one who knows us best and loves us most, and be able to experience His plans and purposes that are much greater than we could imagine. Susan asked me, do you want to ask Jesus to forgive you and be the Lord of your life? And I did. And that prayer that I prayed sincerely. And it set my life on a God trajectory. I haven't always followed Jesus as closely as I wish I would have. But anytime I strayed, God pursued me. He's a loving shepherd, and he leaves the herd to rescue the lost ones. And in my late 20s, I was pretty lost. I made a decision to end my 4-year marriage. I left. I took legal action. I paid the attorneys. I walked away. Even in that time of rebellion, when I was solving my problems my way, my heart longed to be back in right relationship with my God. And a good friend invited me to her church. I said yes, which is typically, when it comes to God, yes is always a good answer to go with. And at that church, I was exposed to a fellowship of believers who not only cared about winning souls, but they also took seriously the process of sanctification, which is letting God, by His Spirit, heal and redeem every broken part of our life. So many people there had such a radiance and such a deep joy that I had never seen before, such a close relationship with the Lord. And whatever they had, I wanted to be able to get in on it, and I did. I pursued that. That was about 40 years ago. I'm 66 years old now. And I am a Christ follower who God is still completing. Each day is a new opportunity to believe that God is good. He loves me, and His ways are so much better than mine, any moment, any day, any circumstance. I'm not a perfect person, and this is not a perfect life, but I am confident in a God who leads me on right paths for His name's sake. The Apostle Paul, in his letter to the Philippian believers, said, I have not yet reached my goal, and I am not perfect. I resonate with those things. But Christ has taken hold of me. I resonate with that as well. So I keep running and struggling to take hold of the prize. The prize is Jesus. I don't feel I've already arrived, but I forget what is behind and I struggle for what's ahead. And all of us should think in the same way, Paul says. We must keep going in the direction that we're headed. That's Philippians 3:12 through 16. Contemporary English version, if anybody wants to know that. And so as I wrap it up here, if your life needs to switch trajectories, you need a new, solid, stable trajectory for your life. Jesus is the way, the hope, the life. I pray you'll say yes to Him. I pray you have or you will encounter and embrace Him. I pray that you'll experience His love and His peace that passes all understanding. And if there's anything that I can do to help you in that process, please feel free to contact me.